Hi, Seascape. This is Melissa, your Ranger Psychic. Today is May 22nd, 2025. And yeah, another live. What do you know? So, I hope everybody's doing okay. Oh my goodness. Just another week of really dense energy, but some good things happened this week. It's a kind of mix. So I asked my guides, of course. Um, hey, Earth Mama, how you doing? Hey, Carolyn. Hi. Thank you for showing up. Um, yeah, please throw your questions my way. Hey, Sean. Um, it's hard to know even what to talk about. Hey, Daniel, how are you? I was thinking all this stuff over, and there's a lot of stuff, but it's still. Why isn't Kamala president right now? Oh my God. It's this cognitive dissonance uh, we're all feeling, right? What's the escape? Will Congress fight against this new beautiful bill, or will the Senate veto it if it gets passed? Didn't it? Do you mean on its way back? Didn't it get passed late last night, or make its way through the Congress and it's going to the Senate? Yeah, I am too. Somebody let me know because as much as I am following the news, um, it's confusing to me too. It's terrible, terrible bill. I did ask my guides about it though, because I said, "Well, it really get passed? Like, will the Senate um, resist it? Will it uh, fail?" And the guide said, "Hey, Brenda, it's they're not, and some things are fated, and they can say for certain. This one it could pass. That's what they said, and not necessarily so, but." They said if it does pass, it's going to be like nightmare scenario for the Republican Party. Uh, there's going to be like a huge increase of activism, and not, of course, not just from the Democrats, but from anybody affected by these massive cuts. And they will rue the day. That's what my guides say. If this gets passed, they will rue the day, and it will kill them. It will end them. I'm not talking about bodies. I'm talking about their existence as a right now. As having any chance of winning. In the midterms and the seats that come before. And we see already, right, the Omaha, Nebraska, after years of electing GOP mayors, Trump area elected a Democrat. And I think a Congress seat got flipped. Um, Yesterday, was it in New York, to blue? But this bill is a monster, and people will not the guys say they will not be silent about it. It would be a big mistake, and I think some of, like even Senator Hawley, is upset about this bill because it's going to affect so many red states. Um, it's going to be a disaster, and they'll wish they never, in their narcissistic fever or fervor, put it together. I know. What do you guys think? Earth Mama, what kind of shocks on the way? What are you talking about? Mm. Daniel, you say Republicans can never say they are conservatives. Wall Street is turning a blind eye. They don't care. Well, they're not conservatives anymore. They're Putin's insurrection force, and everybody who is in that group, if they don't toe the line, then they get death threats or they get primaried. So they all, so many have sold their souls because they run it like the mafia, the GOP. Yeah, exactly. And did your mind go back to John McCain and you know, the vote at the last minute and how many protests there were. That's what my guides are showing me. People are not going to take it. Uh, they want to do everything all at once, really fast, right? They don't want to do it in increments. But this is maybe because they don't think they have much time. Yes, we do love Obamacare. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Elena. Oh, extremely, Elena. I could barely watch the South African and forgive me, is it president or prime minister? At the Oval Office. Um, and forgive me that I can't think which one it is, but Trump, what a racist! There's no words, right, for how he treated this man, and it was embarrassing for our country. And you know that Musk was allowed to be in that meeting, and you know that Musk set it up in some way to bring in the whole what's genocide of white South Africans. That was a Musk. He was waiting for that moment. Um, it was so cringe. It was so awful. And it's this ongoing disaster, right? The continual uh, us show that is the Trump administration, and it's intended to make us feel like this. Yeah, yeah, but their mask is off. I don't know if you've ever experienced that when there's a narcissist or well, single or more, but among you, and they have a persona or a face where everybody thinks they might be really nice or whatever, and uh, but they are likely to rip off their mask, and you see the demon behind the mask, and nobody else sees it, right? But this is them just ripping off that mask en masse, and we're all seeing it. Hey, Deborah, thank you. Um, yes, I did too. I want us to like. Would it be great to kind of all get together, millions of us, and write this man an apology for our country? Um, yeah, that's them. They cut money for hospital beds and gave tax breaks for tanning beds. That's right, Ivy. Um, Daniel, what the hell's going on with Biden? I'm 73 and get a PSA every year. The doctors failed him. I don't know. Seeing that he's our president, you would think, but they may not check for that. I don't know. I believe he's going to be okay. I believe that he's going to get the best treatment, and they can control it with hormones because it's hormone sensitive. That's what I read. And even though it's a stage 4 aggressive cancer, I think he's a strong man. And all this gaslighting we're receiving now, Jack Taper's book, um, these allegations that like somehow, even though ran the best administration, he is considered one of the best presidents we've ever had. He was on cognitive decline, and it's gaslighting. That's cognitive dissonance. And I heard that Tapper allegedly had a a problem or beef with the Bidens because Hunter Biden wouldn't be interviewed about Bo, and he was really pissed off, so he just kind of like did a hit job. And yeah, Tapper's another one of those, like, he seems pretty nice. I mean, he seems like he's a mediocre best. Hey, Jackie B. Um, but there's the mask coming off, and this vile, disgusting book, which it's going to sink his reputation, whatever reputation he had as somebody who's maybe neutral or soft on the Republicans. who's going to want to buy that book? Because we all lived through that. That's they forget, you know. But I guess that's the perversity, like of a KGB Putin-led gaslighting attack. Is that even though you know what you saw, you know that was the reality. They want you to doubt yourself. Like we didn't all see how vigorous Biden was. He had one bad debate, and sounds a little weird, but I think he was like the have like you know what they do to like or what the um, diplomats or whatever in Havana experienced, you know, that syndrome. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit him with that. But of course, he had just been abroad and done a million things, and you know, maybe was he coming down with COVID again or something, or he was sick um, at that time. And then they just, that's what they do. The GOP, they're really good. I don't know. I can't remember actually what was going on with Biden at that time, but they just latch on to one thing and they run with it. And that's going to be their thing. That's going to be the hill they die. And even though it may not be true at all, which, you know, Biden has, I love Joe Biden. He's was an amazing president. And I think we all need to pray for him, throw light his way, and that he, you know, he's able to uh, fight this thing, or you know, I do think he's going to be okay. What do other psychics think about Biden? I just feel like he's got a great deal of life force and vitality, and yeah, I don't know either. I can ask the guys, but like whether I'm going to get, I don't understand. I'm not a doctor, so if I and I don't know what the procedures are. I don't know what's supposed to happen. I will. Thank you, Deborah. Um, yeah, he was exhausted all over the world. We need to, you know, be the voice. Forget about, uh, well, we that ship sailed, right? Like majority of us have already uh, uh, turned away from the media, you know, the Pravda that is our media now. And I just feel I feel empathy and sorrow for just this besmirching. I said that word last time of Biden's reputation. But you know, I think I asked the guys, and they say he's above it. You know, he floats above it. He doesn't let him um, distract him too much because the administration right now, the GOP, are so weak. Trump is so weak, or should I call him Felon 45? That's you know they only have lies, or you know bones that they throw to. They think of us as dogs, right? Whack the dog. Look over there. Don't look at what's really happening. Don't look at Felon 45. You know, walking into a column. And did you see that where he was saved in the nick of time by MAGA Mike? He's losing it. He's not well. See if I missed what I missed here. Yeah, and history will remember Biden as the best president since FDR. He won't be forgotten. I don't care what stupid gaslighting tricks they try to do on us right now. And gaslighting is what they're doing. That's why we all also feel really confused and just kind of ill at ease. And not, I shouldn't say all, but there's this general zeitgeist of that kind of, huh? Why? What's going on now? You know, it's using the media to just like they've done for you know a long time, the GOP to gaslight us and to weaken us and to dishearten us and to uh, um, attack good people. You know, um, it's evil what they're doing, but that's what they do. Let's see what any questions here. Hey Pixie, cancer can develop fast. Yeah, and maybe he didn't show the signs, or maybe that you know his enzymes were fine, and Pentagon says the cost of fixing the Flyboys jet will be 1 billion. Of course, because they're just, that's the thing is that it's all down to Putin, and I'm just going to always throw it back to Putin because these guys, this administration, are following what Putin wants, and that's to destroy our economy because their economy is destroyed, to weaken us, and he hates democracy. Putin hates our democracy and is envious of our people, and he is trying to kill us. I do believe, entertainment purposes only. I'm just a psychic. What do I know? But he wants to destroy the free world and then, have everybody in misery. And his whole thing is the 1%, right? The a technocracy and an oligarchy and a kleptocracy. And he just wants to see it spread around the world because he just does, that's his thing. That's the team he's on, and that's who he backs. Um, I'm in Deborah's Blue Tarot saying, I'm in the breast cancer field, so I know a few things. If they had diagnosed him earlier, the treatment would have likely been the same. Melissa's correct about the hormone response. Yeah, I saw that. I probably read that on Blue Sky or Substack. Um, we still don't know about the drones sitting all over the world. Yeah, you mean that like the drones around New Jersey and that's gotta be, sorry, that's gotta be Putin. Um, Felon 45 hates democracy too. He's a Ruski and bet he's got citizenship. He could. That's definitely who he's working for. Sorry, you guys have allergies. I'm gonna probably take a throat lozenge. Traditional medicine. Like I'm not getting any money for sponsorship for them, but that's what I'm taking. I like these. Um, so how you guys feeling right now? Hey, Celtics here. How's everybody? Oh, wait a minute. Got some seascape saying I worked radiation therapy and prostate sneaky before men exhibit symptoms. Hormone therapy has had excellent results. He can live long with the disease. I have seen terminal patients live long. I believe Biden's going to live a long time. He's just got that um, life force, that vitality to him. So he'll be okay. That's what I think. And we all make a transition at some point and cross over to the light or the other place or wherever people like Felon 45 and Felonia go. And but that that's just a transition. But I would like Biden to be on Earth and Jill too for years to come. We need them here. Uh, hey Linda, hi. Um, Deborah's saying I feel like it's going to be okay, but buckle up for some wicked times. I get the same information from my guides, like, and it's almost like it's got to get worse in a way. For Do you remember what I don't know if anybody watched my last live or remembers that we're talking about the dimension splitting with this, Aquarius, with Pluto and Aquarius coming on, the age of Aquarius. And so it's this weirdness right now where evil is getting like more evil, more dense, and the light is getting stronger and lighter. And so the dimensions are like ripping apart. So it's just like almost the natural course of things that the evil is going to get worse and denser, but it's not going to be able to survive, like to come into this new age in every way. The guides are showing me people are really going to have to rise up, lighten up. Otherwise, they won't be able to exist here. I don't know how that's panning out, but that's just what they show me. Um, so that's why I don't ask the guides, but that's why they've said that the evil is getting just worse. Um, it doesn't feel good. I just wish it would stop. Um, where do people like the Melon Felon and Sissy SpaceX go? why do they seem to reincarnate into equally evil people? That's a big esoteric question, and whether I can answer it or not. My guides have told me when I've asked that question that we're all here on this planet on this incarnation, this karmic incarnation spiral, and we get given many lifetimes to um, resolve our karma. Plus, if we create karma, which we do, like inevitably, um, our karma calls us back. It drags us back almost automatically. It's a law of like a spiritual law. Um, so they can't those souls they can't escape their karma. But the guides that do show me that there's a point where their souls won't come back anymore. Like what the age of Aquarius, they're not coming back anymore. It's like they're I don't know where they're going, or even if I do believe, and I don't know what people think about this, but souls can end if they've accumulated too much karma like that. And there's a point where, and they might choose that they never want to come back, but if they choose that they never want to come back, or they never want to come back and change, then they can, to grow and go on their evolutionary journey. It's all about free will, remember? We all have free will. Um, we're not like children with parents looking like the angels and the divine, but whomever if you believe in a creator, whatever that might be, and we don't have we get punished if we do things wrong, and we don't have that like latitude. We do have latitude. We have free will. That's a huge gift that if you incarnate on this planet, you receive. And I don't know if I'm making any sense, but there is an end to some souls. That's what my guides show me. There will be an end, and some of them won't be coming back. Some of them will just dissolve into energy, like they'll lose their right to consciousness, to have a soul. So, I mean, that's a big question, as I say, but that's what I gather so far. Um, oh, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. They're still likely to go through the life review, Deborah Blue Tarot. Um, Celtic Seer says Saturn heads into Aries on Saturday. New plans and ways of doing things will start to come to light. Old structures will start crumbling, new structures to be created and meet new paradigms. That sounds great. Yeah, so here we are in this transition time. Um, Artistic world, the boneyard with tossed out souls. That would be a really interesting painting, like a Hieronymus Bosch painting, right? If you're an artist, that would be an interesting one to paint. Um, yeah, yeah. I hope we live to see it too. Um, Ship Orange Man to Planet X. Ship all of those guys to Planet X. Did you guys see the interview with uh, Felonia, as they call him? So we all know who that is, right? Sissy SpaceX. I think that was in Qatar. Um, and he was being interviewed on a huge screen by a woman. I don't know her name. She was a fantastic journalist. And she was like this little. She's sitting on her desk and she looked this tiny. And then there's this huge screen of Felania. I thought this was so strange. And oh wow, she asked some really pointed questions. And he was upset. He's like child, like it feels like he's just frozen in his development. Because he was obsessed by the people who had and that not it should never happen. There should not be arson um and that kind of thing. But he's like, yeah, we're going to find the people who harmed Tesla, and they're going to be in jail. Yeah, we're going to get all of them. And the woman, does anybody know what her name was, or is? She kept on saying, well, trying to get him to take at least some accountability, and he just wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't say, yeah, I can kind of see how. Because she said, well, what about your political beliefs? Do you think that was a trigger? Um, and what you did with Doge, and he's like, I never hurt anybody. I've never been violent to anybody, and we all know damn well that he was responsible directly for cutting off. You said funding, and there are people dying, there are children starving. There, I don't know what the state of things are now, but there were ships of food that were supposed to go to feed the hungry around the world, and they just sat there because of what he did. So for him to say that he has never harmed anybody and he has never been violent, um, he's mentally unstable. It's not just Alzheimer's. Which, oh, are you talking about Trump? Or sorry, Felon 45, Deborah? Um, so Mark, you're saying they say there are 200 million light workers here on the planet. That's just about one of every 40 people. Cool. We need more. Um, Scarecrow. Uh, a rump has a new name, Scarecrow. If I only had a brain, oh, and also if I only had a heart, if I only had a soul. Yes, exactly. I just, I was kind of researching a little bit into Felonia or Sissy SpaceX. Or what is the best name for him besides? I don't know why I can't say his name, but yeah, I guess the YouTube AI or something. But I've had heard on. Oh no, it might have been Substack Stack or Blue Sky or some. I don't remember where. I don't take note of where I see things, but I double checked on this, and I googled it, and there's plenty of articles on it that Felonia hit the man who they call his wingman, who gets the women to have the babies, who finds babies, is a Latter Day Saints person. He's a Mormon, and not that I mean Mormonism can be a beautiful religion, but there's that just like in any religion, an extreme, right? The Lori Vallow uh, aspect of renegade Mormons, um, the polygamists, uh, and apparently that's the guy. His name is Jared Barash or something like that. I might be getting that name wrong. I tried to remember it. I looked at it earlier this morning, and he's a partner with Felonia and a longtime friend, and so I started to wonder if um, that well was Felonia like of that ilk, and I asked AI, and they said he was raised as an Episcopalian or something like that, but his father was Latter Day Saints, and which makes that made like the sense in terms of him marrying his stepdaughter, his Errol, I think his name is, married his stepdaughter, ooh, I think his third or fourth wife, and I don't know if anybody ever watched Sister Wives. I was really fascinated with that. Um, oh, Mark, that's interesting. I don't know which one to post here. I'll post yours and then I'll get to Celtic Sears. Um, it says blood transfusions are where athletes go. Oh, what is what athletes use? Blood doping. It will thicken blood and could cause heart attack. I think we were talking about that last week about some of us seeing like a major heart attack, an aneurysm, stroke, something like that. Like oh, boom, and I heard somebody talk about, oh, I know, it was just somebody I know actually, it was an astrologer. Hello out there if you're listening, who was saying that his Mars is Uranus is going to square his Mars next month, and that's like a deadly aspect. So who knows what's going to happen? But I've been my guys have been showing me that too. Back to Felonia. Uh, so I wondered if like the like little Lori Vallow apocalyptic vision that apparently or allegedly she and Chad shared that justified their murder spree. um, I thought Leon, I could call him Leon too. Is Leon into, is that like where, because he believes in apocalypse. He's raising allegedly, according to what I've read, um, he's raising a baby army. Like he's having, they say that it's possible that he has over 100 babies now, or children, and the majority of them are male because they're in vitro fertilized. And well, that's true. He's himself said that he does in vitro. Um, that their DNA is tinkered with, so they are born male allegedly, and he thinks that it's like his mission is to save the planet, and he has some weird ideas about AI, seeing that he's like, you know, like a big AI guy, right? He somehow thinks AI is going to take over the planet, and it's going to be evil, and he has to fight it. And I don't know. And then I did a little bit more research about him because wondered, and I know like allegedly ketamine fueled, psychosis can kind of probably come up with this stuff. But like when you hear him talk, and or you read articles about interviews with him and what he really believes in, it's some crazy stuff. Like he is cuckoo for cocoa puffs as far as I'm judging here, but he's got some crazy beliefs. Yeah, exactly. Did I miss somebody else comment? Oh, here you go, Celtic Sarah. I love astrology reports. So, new moon in Gemini on Monday. Mercury is in the same sign. Reach out and get to know your neighbors. Organize block parties. Create communities. Plant seeds now. Yes, because we need to do that. That's what the guides say too. It's going to be us. The people are going to rise up, and that's what's going to save us. Um, so I don't know. And then I found a picture of him because I then I googled, is Felonia, like, is he satanic? Like, what does he believe in? Satanism? Is that his thing? And I came up when I googled that with a photograph of him. And if I had was doing my older type of videos, that's probably what would have been like the thumbnail. He's wearing this, and this is a Hollywood costume. I think a Heidi Klum's party some years ago, a few years ago, and he's wearing this red and black, like armor type Marvel costume with is a behemoth and an upside down cross on it, and I think that probably reveals a lot about him. So I'm just fascinated by that. Like, what the hell is going on with this man? There's so many crazy people in Felon 45's administration, and a lot of them do believe it's end times and the rapture, and somehow they are going to kind of pass muster, so that which I kind of have always thought was this a positive thing, is that all of a sudden all these people, like, boom, they're taken by the rapture. All we see are their shoes or something. It's like, yay, finally they've been taken. Um, so a lot of you guys have been talking about, sorry, his health, right? And the blood infusions and God knows what else. And that comment, Mark, you said that's why he looks at times. Oh, that's why he looks as alive at times when the weekend at Bernie's. He looks like Bernie, right? Um, oh, interesting. I wouldn't doubt it. We're being run by insurrectionists, the people who invaded the Capitol. These are the people who are running our country right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, Deborah. Uh, love you. You have a great day. Love you back. Um, Transient ischemic attacks have been happening to Felon 45 since episode 1 of Living Through Hell. Yeah, I think so too. And having such severe COVID would ramp that up because COVID, I think, increases or speeds up, like if you have heart disease or diabetes or anything like that, it doubles the triples the potential uh, for that to occur sooner, or that maybe it's like it comes 50% sooner than it would have. Yeah, I think stuck in the Jetsons or Lost in Space because the Tesla truck looks like something out of like an old sci-fi movie. Yeah, watching the budget this morning, I thought Hunger Games. That's what they want. They want they want us. It's like they're the ones who watch everybody, kind of all the starving um, competitors, like like struggle for survival and uh, that. But they enjoy that. They're like what just flashed through my mind was Rome, right? During um, the time of Caligula and uh, the emperors who their big thing was the Colosseum, right? Um, uh, that's and the people sitting as the audience, getting to decide who lives and who dies, and watching what the Christians being eaten by the lions. That's what that reminds me of, right? And I'm sure a lot of them are reincarnated from that time too. And a lot of us probably, kind of, we're the ones probably who just kind of went, I can't believe Nero's letting Rome burn. What the hell? What the hell's happening? Um, or Lord of the Flies. Yeah. Who do you think would have been like the sacrifice in Lord of the Flies? Somehow I was just thinking Shady Vance would be, not that I would want that, but you know, is it Piggy in Lord of the Flies? Linda says Trump is stuck in Yellowstone with Yogi Bear, who wants all the picnic baskets. Yes, he does, and ice cream, but just not one scoop. Two scoops of ice cream. Two scoops. Oh, hey, JC. I didn't see it in the chat. Instead of obsession with end times, think how transformational our world would be if Fallon used his billions to promote good, environmental and political. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But he does the very opposite. Um, ugh. So, oh, really? They added a provision in the bill that blocks judges from issuing contempt charges to anyone in the government. I still think I asked my guides about this because I get freaked out by all of this, and yeah, Piggy. JD Vance, don't you think? Don't you think? That's who he would have been. Um, they say that no matter what happens with this bill, it will be rectified. Celtic Seer, if the budget passes as Saturn changes signs, we will have serious repercussions. Call your senators. Under no circumstances should they pass the bill. Too many other hidden issues that are unlawful. Yeah, 100%. Can I ask, this is just my ignorance, but doesn't it have to go back to Congress if Senate does pass it? Um, but if they do pass it, it will be the worst. It will just destroy them quicker. I mean, I think they'll be destroyed anyway, the GOP. But people are going to rise up. This is the time, just like, it was in France. Not that I hope that we don't go that direction. I really do. I hope we have learned our lessons and don't want to, what eye for an eye or whatever, guillotine. That was horrible. Um, but I think that people are going to rise up. Daniel says this is like watching The Twilight Zone. I want to change the channel on Facebook. Friends with Rod Serling's daughter. No way! It's amazing. Yeah, it is The Twilight Zone. I want to change the channel too. I don't want this to be happening. Um, if Hey Brenda, if Cheeto takes a dirt nap, sell the gaudy plane to cash to vets, disabled children, elderly. Yes. I've been hearing like the uh, rumbles of talk about how the Qataris didn't actually give him the plane. He asked for the plane. Did anybody else hear that? I've been hearing that in the last few days. I think Rosie's insights. I think Rosie was talking about that last night. That that plane, yeah, and the Qataris, they wanted to get rid of the plane because it's just an albatross, and it's a probably a piece of junk, really. And it may, like the way that it was, the gaslighting, right? The way that it was presented to us was that it was a gift, but it was, I think somehow Felon 45 wanted them to give it to them, him, for free, for in exchange, like in a transaction or something like that. Um, yeah. Um, hey, Rabia, I'm in Greece right now, and being away from this abroad, it all seems like absolute lunacy. It is absolute lunacy. It is. That just seems like it is absolute lunacy. Um, Mark says they are saying that Bruce Springsteen might have a free concert in DC at the same time as Dumpy's parade. Uh, God. Um, Extorted. Yeah. But that plane, it's going to cost him, not just us, like $1 billion or something. And it's not even going to be ready for him. Um, it just the greed of it. He's like a child, who, oh, look at what I got. There's no, he has no, well, no, I'm just, why am I even saying this? We all know this. He has no care for our country, no care for the ramifications. He's the art of the, I call it the art of the steal. The art of the steal. That's what I call it. The art of the deal. Um, and uh, The Qataris offered a plane to Turkey's leader. He refused. Trump heard about that and then asked for the plane. Interesting, Diane. Artistic World says my theory is Wade wanted the plane as his getaway vehicle. When he runs, he can't take Air Force One's possible. Um, it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know how it got so broken as a country that this could even be. It's so horrible. Um, Oh, payment in arms, which the Saudis will give to Russia. Um, Trish says there's also a video. I don't think it's all pretty. It looks pretty original, but there's a Qatari saying that they wish they never invited the thief Trump or sorry, and that he just wants gold glory and he doesn't care policy. Yeah, well, that's pretty true. That's a very correct observation. Um, Thank you, Seascape. I'm gonna post that. Thank you so much. Seascape, let me know if you want to be a mod, and I'll figure out how to make you one. Um, Air Force One can withstand nuclear attack. The irony if like the whole government, Trump's administration is on that plane and it just goes down. That's kind of, oh my God. Linda Bishop says 45's like my landlord with dementia. Wife won't let him go with her to the dump because he brings junk home. Same with 45, but on an enormous scale. Okay, I'll do that. I'll figure it out. Um, I'm Willis. People who do evil deeds may or may not get the chance to reincarnate according to how they're paid for their deeds. They did. Some are dissolved back to energy. Yeah, and they're not permitted to get it right again. Yes, that's I had my guides had said that to me when I asked that at this point in incarnation where we are now as humans, that very well could happen, and that probably will happen to Putin and Trump and Musk. Sorry, Felonia early on. Uh, Rum posted, hey Sherry, Rum posted an AI video of himself as a rock star. It was the day after the bad tornado tragedy hit. Yeah, and nobody's talking about that tragedy, which was like horrific. It flattened towns, and it's like uh, even the Republican senators have to beg for help because they're not getting help. Somehow they have it in for FEMA, although FEMA, like it's the red states that, and not that the the blue states or purple states don't need it, but red states, oh my God, they're very vulnerable. Um, go back, Seascape, go back to the beginning of when I was explaining that we're on this incarnation trail and karma brings us back, and we get many chances, and but at the end, I think we're at this point in time, and as in this age of Aquarius, that's just not going to happen because of the vibrations. But because the vibrations are going to be too high for somebody like him to reincarnate, and he may lose his soul. I don't know. I'm not the arbiter of that. Like it's a higher function that I have. Um, oh, bye, Daniel. Thanks for coming. Um, so, but also there is an aspect of this where we're at this point in human evolution where we're in such extreme polarity, and the people who this battle between I want to call it density and light, because darkness is this natural function. Dark and light are like natural, they're necessary, right, for our universe and our planet. And we all have dark and light in us. Well, Jung talks about illuminating the dark so we can become whole human beings and rise to our highest nature. But right now it's like a Marvel movie. And there's going to be, Thanos on their side, and there's going to be Captain America and Iron Man, etc. on our side. It's like that, or Lord of the Rings. I always look at it like five armies. There's going to be Saruman and Sauron and orcs, and whomever's gonna and Gollum, who's going to choose the dark, and then there's going to be the hobbits and Gandalf and you know uh, uh, people like that, and then humans who have to battle between what they choose. But there's going to be the elves and the dwarves, people who are going to fight on the side of the light, and they're going to have this huge battle. So that's kind of how I see it, if that makes any sense. It's this polarity, the spiritual battle, and it's truly going on right now, but like between angels and demons. And uh, we have to choose: do we want to raise our vibrations and go to the light, or do we want to get denser and denser? But the or I'd say the consequence of that is not being able to incarnate back, because where we've chosen to go collectively. Yes, exactly. There is that result. I think I talked about it last week, where actually the 45 administration slash not 47, not 45, is causing such stark polarity that, whereas maybe a month ago, or whenever these elections were happening, there were dangers, these recent elections, of the Australia picking a Putin puppet, and um, Romania, which was amazing, that election, right? That, and Canada, Germany, and so it's serving that function of actually pushing the rest of the world into a better place, looking at what we're dealing with, not wanting to go there and choosing democracy. So there's that, right? Linda Bishop says, being around demons, it's difficult to breathe, less oxygen, heavier, and time is slower. Jackie B, it is spiritual warfare. You say it feels like spiritual warfare. It is spirit. That's what my guys always remind me of. And they always then, when I'm in despair about what's going on, they say, you chose to be here during this time. You incarnated to be here, um, and to be of service. And just remember that. Um, and you've been through this before. We've all been through this before in other lifetimes. Um, Marge, you're saying, do you think we will ever have a peaceful world again like we did when Biden was president? I do think that. I think we're going to choose that collectively, and I think that will happen. I think they always show me, and I hope I'm right, because, I'm just a human being, and wishful thinking can really probably. I try work every day on being clear and being detached, but there's some, when I have skin in the game, it can be difficult, and but I argue with my guides even. I say, oh no, this, uh, we're lost, da 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 da. But they say no, that Rump and his people have a short expiration date, and they're not going to be here long, and we will retrieve our democracy. And every time I ask them, will our democracy be um, saved? Like, will it um, weather this assault? They tell me yes. And I'm interested to hear what other people intuit about that. Um, oh wow, Mark, when there's a you said it started in Germany, then Canada, Australia, Romania, and hoping Poland will be next. Who's running in Poland? I'm gonna pray for that. Um, oh, thank you, Linda. I'm really being drawn to this shade of pink right now. It's a heart chakra, right? Seascape, you're talking about Matthew. Oh yeah, I was just talking about. Oh, that's so crazy. I was just talking about Matthew Perry and his similarity. Although I'm sure he was a far kinder person, but that the whole ketamine thing, where ketamine can be so dangerous, and it seems like for Leon, there's no going back. Like, that's his world, and he's in a human body. He thinks he's this immortal. I'm sure he does. I saw that he thought he was a reincarnation of Alexander the Great. My guides say no. That, well, if he was, that's fine, but my guides don't see that. But he's going to learn that he's not immortal like Icarus. Oh, thank you. Yes, we are all human. Thank you. I can be hard on myself, so. Um, oh, Warsaw Mayor Raphael Trzaskowski is the left. Okay, let's keep that name in mind for the highest good. Hope he gets in. Um, let me read the. I always, give us an oracle card. I don't know if some people can benefit from that. If you don't mind. And it's from Queen of the Sun Oracle deck, which is a new deck for me. It's by Stacey DeMarco. She does the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and I love that deck. So I thought I'd treat myself to this deck. And so this is our card. Um, Not that card. Last one. Uh, our card today is mental health. And that it's a I guess this person represents Beavi. Must be a Norwegian queen or something. Bav. Mental health. Place emphasis on your own mental health. Establishing boundaries is part of protecting your mental and physical health. Things may not be as you think. Take your time to observe the situation. Seek balance. I am safe and loved and will return to balance. I am safe and loved and will return to balance. Mental health. We all need to protect our mental health these days. It's so crazy out there. Um, March, Melissa, who did you say Stephen Miller was in the past life? It was a Nazi officer. I think it was Goebbels, but I'd have to go back and check. Um, but that's who I think it was. If am I wrong? I should remember, but my guides give me this information, and sometimes it just doesn't stick. But I do make a video about it. But I think that was who he was. Hey, Sue. Um, yes, but we must. Linda's saying we must have guardrails put in Constitution prevent this from happening again. 100%. Oh, so much work. We have so much work to do to heal, to patch the holes in our democracy that allowed this to occur. It should never have. I guess should never. It did happen, but we need a democracy where this cannot happen again. It cannot. So that it's going to take a lot of work. I'd like to see Congress, people get paid little as a public service be held account. Yeah, and not be able allowed to do insider trading, MDG. Uh, Absolutely. Pee Wee German Goebbels, German Goebbels. I got the G mixed up. Hey, Michelle. So it can't not be stressful, right? But we do need to protect our mental health, do self care. Uh, if we remember this spiritual warfare, which manifests in all kinds of ways, and if you recall, and if you've ever gotten into that rabbit hole about, the German, the Hitler was definitely into, the occult and spiritual warfare, and Putin is, as I mentioned in previous videos when I started doing this live. It was one of the reasons I think I wanted to start the live is to talk about his use of dark witchcraft and dark shamanism. He actively has people who are casting spells on us. He really does. You can research it. I found a whole video on Putin's witches, and it was these witches who were all. I mean, there's all kinds of wicked, good, bad, middle, whatever. But he has dark witches, or red witches, they can be called because they believe in sacrifice. And there was about 30 of them or something. Anybody wants to link to that video. And they had black capes and with red lining, and they were all doing a prayer of protection for Putin. So that really exists, and I think. United States, the secret stuff. There, we have our own people have over time, the whole CIA kind of counter whatever, they haven't, we're going to have to get into it too. But God knows what's going on with that, with this government. Um, but Putin does and uses them. Putin, Mark saying Putin thinks he was Alexander the Great. I think he was just Rasputin. Yeah. Uh, it's a lot of weirdness, but remember that things get put out into the either, and we need to protect ourselves, and we need to reflect back whatever anybody sends us. If anybody does that kind of spiritual work, and surround ourselves with light, and surround this planet with light. It's important. Um, why, in all his decades of priming, has 45 not been prosecuted? This is exactly what happened with ADOP, problematic long before got into power. 100% Tila. Somebody was talking about his astrology, um, maybe being born on the new moon, and somehow there's some aspects in his chart that kind of allow him to get away with things. But that's coming to an end. I look at him, it's just, he's not in good shape, that guy. Um, Marge says, I'm 84 years old and scared to death of losing my house aid and Medicare. I will be out on the street for sure if this happens. Do you see us getting to that point? Um, Let me ask my guides. I, this is live and spontaneous. I may not be as clear as I am when I'm like, doing readings for people privately. Would be probably something that, but I will for you. Try and just big grain of salt on this. I don't see it. I think somehow these programs are going to be saved, and the worst case scenario is not going to play out. That's what I see. But you know, that's just what I'm getting right now. So I hope that's true. Um, I think dumping through all the corruption out of us for all to see. I think so too, Mark. So he's definitely teaching. He's giving us like a teaching moment as a negative teacher, right? What not to be, how not to act. So before I go, I'm going to see if the guides want to tell you anything else, if you don't mind. Um, yeah, I agree, Sarah. Um, Celtic says, call in the angels and spirit to help you combat the spirit. Trust that you will be looked after. Blessings. I think that message was probably to Marge, and yes, and we all throw light your way. Um, the guides want to tell you before we go, things will turn around. However dark things seem to get, this too shall pass, and it just doesn't have staying power. He will be toppled. He will be defeated, and a new democracy will emerge, like a phoenix from the rising ashes. So hang in there, okay? Yes. Thank you, Celtic Seer. You too, and I wish that for everybody. You guys, I love you. And I will be back next week, I do believe. And we'll, the reality nightmare of the reality show that is the current administration will continue in its crazy circus type way. Uh, yeah. Okay. I love you very, very much. You take care. Thank you, everybody. Even if I didn't get to you for your contributions, your comments, and your questions, I really appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. Oh, I guess I should say, please like, share, and subscribe because it really, really, it does make a difference. Be well. Bye bye.